All right, boys, we got the $2 million Steam heist. Saw this on the YouTube recommended. Wanted to watch it. Popped up the OBS. Here we are. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Kaiki Silva. Do reaction content, gaming content, lifestyle content. If you like what you see, leave a sub. If you don't, whatever. What are you gonna do? Let's get into it. Now, I looked around this video. It looks very cinematic. I'm very pro cinematic type guy. I love movies. I love editing. You know, I've done some editing before in my life. Previously, I was a marketing guy and I did a lot of editing. So I really like editing. And this guy seems like he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I mean, this should be a good one. But Steam heist. How do you do a Steam heist? Obviously, it's cybersecurity type deals, right? And obviously, I think this will involve some CS skins. So, I mean, I'm new to Counter-Strike. I'm curious to see how these Counter-Strike skins are being taken away from the innocent individuals. Let's see. Okay, nice.
New this morning, police are searching for the robbers who stole more than $2 million worth of diamond jewelry in the Bronx. Happened just after 2:30 Friday afternoon.
On the 5th of
Well, I thought this was a Steam heist.
August 2022, 4 criminals committed a smash and grab robbery and escaped with over $2 million worth of jewelry in the Bronx.
The Bronx, that's literally 30 minutes away from me. I live right across the George Washington Bridge in New Jersey. I'm not joking. And I always hated New York. Always hated New York from the first time I've been there. You know, it's so crowded. It's so claustrophobic. I hate claustrophobic spaces. I'm Brazilian. I come from a rural area. I grew up on farms, okay? Like, I would play soccer barefoot with my entire family, and then we would go back inside and had to get a needle to rip out freaking bugs from our feet. I'm not joking when I grew up there. So when I came to New York, I just felt so out of place. I don't know how people can live there. I need nature.
45 days later, $2 million worth of in-game items were hijacked from a single user's Steam account.
Wait, so 45 days after the jewelry heist, the same amount of money was taken from a Counter-Strike account?
One of these heists was covered on huge news networks. The other was talked about on Twitch and YouTube.
The dichotomy: real life heist, digitalized heist, Twitch and YouTube versus news. Oh, that's pretty funny.
One of these heists had the risk of 20 years in jail. The other had no risk whatsoever. Despite all of these factors, all of the robbers had the same chance of making the same amount of money. This is the story of the $2 million Steam heist.
Isn't that crazy though? $2 million, same amount of money. One is way more riskier than the other in terms physically, right? Like, you have to physically get a vehicle. You have to physically get freaking baklavas. You have to physically get weapons, hammers to break windows and stuff, cameras to you know, you gotta hide the cameras. The other $2 million, you just need a fucking laptop. You just need a computer. Like we are in an age where things are not yet caught up to the digital version yet. Like, the mainstream is not like, you guys don't understand. The mainstream, they don't know the depths of the internet yet. And maybe it will always be like this. You know, it's like the black market. Maybe the depths of the internet will always stay in the depths, right? But the depths of the internet creates these heists, these cybersecurity heists, which I think it will only get worse as humanity evolves, as we get more involved in this digitized life with AI and stuff. We are becoming less and less physically available to do stuff, and we're just in the digital life. And, you know, I grew up digital life. You know, I got a PS2 at 6 years old. I grew up in that environment, but I also grew up in the physical environment. Grew up, like I said, I played outside in the streets barefoot. So who knows where we'll be in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Are we still going to have this dichotomy of physical and digital life? It's perfectly balanced. Or is the digital life going to take over? Or will AI just nuke everything and we're just going to return to the physical life that we always love? Because I love physical life, nature. I love it. But I also love the digital. I love video games. You need that barbell.
Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN.
All right, get your billions, bro.
Survive a criminal to watch. Allow comic solution for free. This story begins with a little game called CSGO. Some of you may have heard of it.
Good. Yo, bro. Is this Apex? I've been talking about this Apex character for so long. Like, this guy looks like an absolute chud over here, bro. He looks so fat. Like, I watched one of his games 2 weeks ago. He looks like a completely different person. And like, I came to find out he was playing in like 2010. This guy's insane. This guy's so much lore. This Apex guy.
Counter-Strike is home to the largest singular player base on Steam and is also home to the world's most lucrative and legitimate in-game economy. These in-game skins sell for real money millions of times a day, creating a legitimate market that resembles the idea of the stock exchange despite its shallow depth in features and...
Yeah, this is what I said a couple videos ago. The market, the economy in CSGO is literally a stock market. You have guns, they're the stocks. They go up and down in value, and you want to try to snipe them at a reasonable price. Some hooligan might put up a $5,000 skin for $10, snipe it. That's like the equivalent of online trading nowadays, like Cowshy or TradingView or what's that one called? Polymarket. Like, and this is in one singular game. One singular game. It's insane.
Execution.
Now, I remember I played Rocket League a very long time ago, and we used to have a similar economy type deal. But Epic Games, once they acquired Rocket League, they removed it. We used to be able to open cases just like CSGO, and you used to be able to go on websites and purchase these items, like white zombies were the big ones back in the day. They would go for like $500, $700, and black market decals, stuff like that. And then Epic Games removed it. And, they're looking to remove this in CSGO as well, because New York apparently is suing them, stuff like that. In Germany, I heard they already removed it because of X-rays. So who knows? I mean, it literally is gambling.
Some skins are worth just a few cents. Others are worth enough to buy your family home. Many people, old and young, technically savvy and technically incompetent, can't grasp the idea of why an in-game item made from pixels would sell for such an extreme price.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? The older generations, they're lagging behind the knowledge of digitalization. Like, you tell your mom or you tell your dad that this pixel on the screen that you're seeing right now, this bunch of pixels that make up a skin that looks cool and is colorful, is selling for $300,000. You tell that to your dad or your mom, and they have no previous information about this game, they're gonna think you're bullshitting them, and rightly so. Like, what the fuck have we created? It's insane, but it also makes sense because there's so much money being put into this game. There was so much effort being put into this game that these older generations just don't get because they're not in that environment. So, I mean, I don't know. They're lagging behind, but we might be lagging behind when we have children as well. We can't blame them, right? When we have children, we're going to be lagging behind as well.
Transactions for real-life cash take place on third-party marketplaces that Steam does not own. There are countless sites that offer various ways to trade and sell skins, most of which make millions of dollars from their transaction fees. People make a living through buying and selling skins, people lose their life savings from gambling skins, and some people simply just want to collect. Collecting is often where emotions outweigh monetary gain, which is an extremely difficult thing to achieve unless you have vast amounts of wealth to begin.
I never really understood collecting stuff just for the sake of collecting. I've never been a guy like that. But I will say, if there is something cool in my life and it just looks cool, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I'm not going to say I'm starting a collection. I'm not going to go out and start a collection. But for example, I'm looking at on my table right now, I'm looking at about 10 or 20 or 30 Zyn canisters, nicotine pouches. They just look cool. I just like collecting them. And like not collecting in a way that I go out and purposely try to collect them. I just keep them there. You know what I'm saying? I know some friends or some people that they do collect like Pokemon cards or stuff like that, but they are also kind of selling them. If I'm older, the one thing I will collect are cigars. That's the most badass thing you could collect, in my opinion. Cigars.
With. However, much like many other markets, the CSGO economy awards those who are patient. This brings us to a man named HFB.
HFB? Hakim Fababangst Brozar.
HFB was the biggest CSGO collector in the history of the game,
Really?
and had gained a reputation for owning the most expensive inventory of items on Steam. But by
Like, look at these billionaires, bro. They hide behind these mysterious names. Like, these guys just have so much aura, bro. Like, imagine you're a billionaire. You never played CSGO in a day in your life. You load up the game, you buy every single expensive skin, and you just have it just to have it. This is probably Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk.
June of 2022, he had not logged into his account for over 3 years, and his inventory had been completely private. This meant that no one could peek into his vault of historic items, his museum of Counter-Strike history. And so, his name became more and more of an urban legend every day. But unfortunately for HFB, that was all about to change. On the 16th of June 2021, an unknown Russian CSGO player had devised a plan.
Of course he's Russian. Of course. I mean, CSGO is the most Russian game of all time. You cannot tell me otherwise. And I always say this with the Russian language, it scares the living shit out of me. It just scares me. It just sounds scary. You get on the phone, you pick up the phone, and you hear Russian. I'm shutting that shit off immediately. It's like a hitman coming to get you. And like when I see a terrorist on the Counter-Strike game, I think of Russians.
To break into HFB's vault. They were going to gain access to his Steam account, sell all of his items on a third-party website, and then vanish. On the surface, a naive dream with no substance. While the average phishing scam works on a concerning amount of the CSGO player base, in this scenario, it won't do. The thief had long realised that if he wanted to pull this off, that wasn't an option. So they started thinking outside the box.
All right, props to this guy. This editing is actually amazing. Wow.
You see, a vault is easy to break into with enough time and resources. The tricky part is avoiding the people guarding the vault.
Or it could just be a mafia boss. Watch Wrath of Man, Jason Statham, get a USP silence.
That's why the robber knew the only way in was through social engineering, a back door. What if you could get Steam support to help you rob the vault instead of guarding it? Well, there was only one way to find out. So they got to work, gathering all the information they needed about HFB's account.
So this guy is probably the reason behind why 2FA, two-factor authorization, has become so non-optional today. Like, you literally have to do 2FA on every single account you make in your entire life, or you're just not going to get in. So you're telling me this Russian guy is responsible for that?
Account and personal life through various data leaks. Once they felt like they had enough information, they opened up a Steam support ticket. Now, we could theorize on emails back and forth, security questions, and specifics of the conversation between the thief and Steam support, but I don't really want to go into details on possible ways this CSGO thief might have broken into one of the most valuable digital vaults in the history of the internet. What I will say is either the Russian had an ace up their sleeve that no one could have possibly known about, or they had a man on the inside. The only thing we know for sure is that by the time the support ticket had ended, the thief was logged into HFB's account with a fresh email and password to go along with it.
Oh my God. He actually got in through Steam support. How does this happen to my guy HFB? This H, the way they pronounce H in the UK just pisses me off. H? I mean, I get it. I don't get it, actually. H, where did that come from? Anyway, HFB, I can't even say H now. He's probably some billionaire chilling in the Kosovos, and he probably doesn't even know he got hacked. So the hacker, the Russian, he's Russian. Of course he's going to find a way. He used apparently Steam support to get access and create a fresh email and password. How did this happen? How?
They had successfully made their way inside the vault and changed the combination. Now, they prayed. If you broke into a vault undetected, what would you do? Would you
I don't know, maybe steal the money?
look around for a few minutes and really take everything in? Or would
Actually, I'm joking. I will never steal money. I will never, ever steal money.
you rush as fast as you can to fit everything in your bag and go? Well, our thief didn't have the luxury of choice, because they knew as soon as they broke in, they wouldn't be able to leave for a while. When an email or password is changed on a Steam account, a trade ban is put on the account for 5 days, meaning no item can leave the inventory of that player under any circumstance.
So HFB, I'm still having trouble pronouncing this dog shit. He had 5 days to get his account back. Did he? Because I'm thinking this guy's a billionaire. He's chilling out on the beach with a 10 on his side. I don't think he cares about this account at all.
So for the next 120 hours, the thief would have no choice but to look at everything that could be his and wait. Because although he broke into the vault and got past the guards undetected, if HFB notices someone has changed his combination, it was all for nothing. 5 restless nights was the only option.
Bro, this guy's probably just staring, refreshing the Steam every second, every 5 seconds. He's probably not even able to sleep. Like me, I have trouble. If I upload a YouTube video, I have trouble freaking not checking the analytics. That's the type of person, obsessive person I am. This guy got into an account that's worth $2 million. He put in all this work. Who knows what work he put in, but he put in the work to get into this account. And now he has to wait 5 days. 5 days? That's like 2 years for him. He's probably losing his mind over there.
Every day.
And AHV, bro, you gotta come in, bro. Did they not send you an email? Come on, bro.
The thief would wake up, praying HFB did not notice someone was living in the walls of his account. Every day, the thief had to look into the pixels of his monitor that held $2 million worth of items deep within the display. By day 4, the thief had already ran through the exact way that they were going to cash out the items as quickly as possible. However, no matter how hard they tried, the thief could not fall asleep that night. They could only watch the counter go down every minute. Any distraction they tried on themselves got overwhelmed by the ticking timer that stood between them and $2 million. As the minutes got closer, all sounds faded away. Unlike the robbery in the Bronx, this anticipation was much more prolonged. But as the seconds got closer, the adrenaline started to take over. And before the thief knew it, after 120 hours, on June 21st, 2021, the vault had opened.
AHV, bro. How do you choke this bad, man? You have $2 million sitting on your Steam account. Why are you not checking that on the daily? It's because $2 million is $2 to this guy. I'm telling you, this guy could not give less of a shit that his account got hacked. And I'm calling it right here. In the end of the video, this author right here, the guy who made the video, he's going to reveal that HFB is some billionaire Jeff Bezos replica that doesn't give a fuck about this $2 million. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
It was time to smash and grab. The thief started moving the valuable items out of the vault and onto the third-party marketplaces, where he would list them for roughly 50% under market value for the fastest exit strategy possible. But what was so insane about this heist is the fact that everybody could see what the thief was doing at all times. For you to successfully sell an item on one of these third-party marketplaces, the inventory your item is coming from has to be public. So for the first time in over 3 years, HFB's inventory...
No way. That's right. For him to list the skins and get the money, it's coming from the public account of HV. Bro, I can't say this name. Let's just call him H. Let's call him H. I cannot say this name. The H just fucked me up the entire time. I cannot say this name anymore. H. So H, he's the one listing the skins, and everybody knows that he's been MIA for the past 3 to 4 years, and now all of a sudden he's selling. That's gonna be sus. That's gonna be sus.
Could be seen
This Russian guy, he's not so smart after all.
by everyone, and the CSGO community couldn't believe it. However, excitement quickly turned into panic as people realized HFB was not in control of his account. Items worth over $100,000 were being sold for $50. Rare pattern-based...
Yeah, that's even more sus. Like, if you want to get caught and you want to reveal yourself that you're not H even 10 times more, you list them for 50% on their market value. That's what you're going to do to make yourself known that this is not actually AHB. I'm still trying to say his name, bro. This shit's going to piss me off. But, I mean, this Russian guy's, he's a complete retard.
And low-flow items were being quick sold to bystanders, and suddenly, the Museum of Memorabilia HFB had owned for years started collapsing in front of the community's eyes. Some items were being sold on a website called Buff, and others were being sold on a random Russian market that most people had never even heard of. By the time it was all said and done, when Steam finally noticed what was happening, the thief was gone. After 5 days of living in the walls of the most prolific vault in video game history, he had been evicted. No one knew how much he had made, and nobody knew how many items were sold.
So there's no way that H never knew about this, and Steam was the one that stepped in and just kicked him out. Like, H, who is this guy? Someone needs to pull up his IP, do an FBI investigation on who H is. I'm dying to know. This guy just has so much aura.
In almost every instance of an account being compromised, Steam does nothing. This is because usually it was an error made by the person who owns the account and not Steam. But in this
Yeah, Steam, Valve, whatever you want to call it, they have like, I don't know, they have like a $2,000 daily limit. Is it daily limit on buying skins? So they're basically telling you, we don't want your money. We only want a certain limit, or else we might get in trouble. So they're denying money, potentially, probably because of legal reasons. So that positions them as an authority even more. It makes them premium. It makes them more attractable to people because they actually cannot take more than $2,000 of your daily money, which is still a lot of money, by the way. Okay, I'm not saying that's a small amount of money. But also, if you mess up on your account, they say it's your fucking fault, you fucking stupid idiot. Maybe next time don't give out your password, or maybe set a better password. Like Steam and Valve, they have the biggest D in gaming I've ever seen in my life. They created Portal 2, right? They're creating Deadlock, which is apparently is one of the better games coming out of MOBAs. They have CSGO, been around 1999. Like, these guys have the biggest D in gaming of all time. They're like Gabe Newell. This guy is a billionaire off this one game.
instance, things are very different. Because as we know, it was not HFB's fault his account was compromised. It was a Steam support misstep. So in Steam's mind, there was only one option: to turn back the clocks and reverse time. A thing the CSGO community had never seen before on this scale. Items started disappearing from the players who bought HFB skins on third-party websites, and people started to panic.
I mean, Steam coming in and taking away the skins that got traded. Do you know how crazy intervention this is? And the fact that they have this feature accessible to them, that they can do this, they can go to anybody's inventory and just take out the items, put them back wherever they came from. This is like stock market. Imagine you have 100 stocks of, say, like Tesla. Some guy in Tesla comes and takes it away because they think you stole it. Like, you can't do that on a stock market. You can't do that. Either you have the stocks or you don't. It's like insider trading. If this was like real life, like, there would be no insider trading because you could just take it away. You can't take stuff away in the real world. In this controlled environment, you can, but it's still worth billions of dollars. It's insane.
Word got out, buyers tried to move their items through as many accounts as possible, hiding them in storage containers, making their inventories private. But eventually, after a few days, the vault was back to its original state. And once again, HFB tinted the glass, like nothing ever happened. Now it wasn't HFB who lost hundreds of thousands, it was the rest of the player base. One specific user spent $150,000 sniping HFB's items.
No way.
And now, they were left with absolutely nothing.
Wait, so he didn't even get the money back? Nah, if Steam didn't give the money back, that's actually fucked up. That's actually fucked up.
The third-party marketplaces were doing everything they could to freeze the thieves' funds and refund the players who had lost items. Buff was semi-successful in doing so, but the Russian marketplace was not. It was over. The thief had gotten away with it. When it was all said and done, the thief walked away with upwards of $350,000 in crypto.
Jesus Christ. So he's still out there? Oh my God, 350 G's? You know how much money that is? Off a video game? Off of something that you didn't even do physically? Oh my God.
Nowhere near close to 2 million, but still, a lot of money for some pixels. Luckily, Buff and the Russian marketplace decided to fully refund everyone who purchased a HFB item, meaning it wasn't the player base who took the hit, but instead, the third-party marketplace.
W third-party marketplaces. Actual W for that. And, you know, Steam should have stepped in as the big D boys that they are and awarded these third party marketplaces for actually stepping in and refunding the funds of the guys who purchased the items. Like Steam should have been the one that took the hit because it was their fault in the initial place. But what are you gonna do, right?
He says. Steam and HFB never commented on the situation, and while there have been suspected...
See, he never commented on the situation. This guy has the most aura I've ever seen in my life.
Steam
He probably didn't even give a fuck.
accounts that could have belonged to the thief, we simply can't be certain. In the end, Steam had a huge wake-up call to social engineering through Steam support. HFB did not lose any of his items. The CSGO community was left with an insane story. The thief walked away with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the third-party marketplaces took a big hit. But as the months passed, the question of a man on the inside became more and more intriguing. What if the thief wasn't working alone?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't doubt anything. This Russian guy probably blackmailed some Steam support guy, said, "I'll fucking kill you, motherfucker." And he said, if you don't do this, if you don't help me out with this, you will be dead. And you know, at that point, if you're a Steam support guy, what do? You follow instructions. And if you say, it's like the mafia. I'm watching The Sopranos right now. If you say anything, you're just whacked. You're dead. That they're going to find a way to get you. And, you know, if I'm a Steam support guy, I'm shitting my pants. I'm farting everywhere. It's the stinkiest room of all time because there's a Russian guy on the phone telling me I'm dead if I don't help him get into this account. You know, like that could have maybe not happened. Maybe the Steam support was actually just, they didn't give a shit. It's just some piece of shit. But I don't know. That seems unlikely that a piece of shit would get hired at Steam.
Super important quick announcement. Gradient, my clothing brand that I launched last week. Now's the time to get...
All right, W video. Very interesting though. $2 million Steam heist. You know, I like how the creator of this video, he actually put it into perspective how big like this heist actually is. Because in the beginning of the video, he started off with these guys in New York in the Bronx, they stole $2 million worth of jewelry, right? That's a normal bank heist that you would see in a movie in the Bronx. And then he said 45 days later, the same amount of money was attempted of being stolen, but this time in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Is that not just insane that we live in this simulation of a time where the same amount of money can be taken? One is fully digitized. You don't have to leave your room. You can just take the money just from your laptop. The other one, you have to plan out like a freaking movie, like a freaking Fast and Furious type shit. It's insane. But yeah, I wish Steam actually stepped in and took the hit instead of the third-party vendors. Respect to them. The thief, I don't know. He's probably $350K. Nobody knows who he is. Got away with it. Whatever. What are you going to do? You know, the Steam support guy, where is he now? Who knows? But yeah, I mean, crazy shit. Will we see something like this again soon? Maybe, but probably not. They probably learned the lesson. Steam has big D's, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, boys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a sub, leave a like if you enjoyed. Talk to you boys soon.